here we have, it's almost like the plant problem, except the lines have negative slopes. And the reason for that is now the story is telling us about the height of candles. Like we buy a 12-inch candle at the store, we buy an 8-inch candle at the store. And the 12-inch candle burns at a much faster rate. Maybe it's because the diameter of that, even though it's a much taller candle, maybe the diameter of the candle is much smaller. And so you can see how interesting some of these kind of graphs, or how much information you can get from just a line graph. So the 12-inch candle, we'll do this first, the 12-inch candle has a change in y over change in x equal to, I've got to pick 2 points. This point, this y-intercept is a good point because I know x is 0 and y is 12. These are not good points. It's not quite at the intersection. I'm scanning for another good point to choose, and I'm not finding anything. That also is not at the intersection, and so it's not a great choice. But right here, once the candle has burned all the way down to 0, I know that happens after 5 hours. So these 2 points are the good points to pick for the 12-inch candle. When I represent my change in y, the change in y is down 12. It's going from 12 inches to 0 inches. Like the candle completely burned down to 0. So that's negative 12 inches. It decreased by 12 inches over 5 hours. I move 5 to the right, so that's positive 5 hours. 12 divided by 5 is 2.4. 2 and 2/5 is 2.4. Negative divided by positive is negative, so negative 2.4 inches per hour. The height of that candle decreases by 2.4 inches every hour. Try to find it here. Right there. The 8-inch candle, which I'll do in red, has a rate of change, a change in y over change in x. I'll use this point, and look, I can use this point. I could use this point also where it's burned down to 0, but this point is fine. I can see that at 3 hours it's exactly 4 inches tall. So I'm going to represent my delta y as negative 4 because I'm going from 8 inches to 4 inches. So the candle has decreased by 4 inches over how many hours? 3 hours. I went from 0 hours to 3 hours. That's plus 3 for the change in x. 4/3 is 1 1/3. So 1.3 repeating, and negative divided by positive is negative. So this is negative 1.333. The 3 goes on forever. Inches per hour. So I'm anticipating that they will round to the nearest tenth. So negative 1.3 inches per hour. Let me see if I'm right about that rounding. No, they didn't quite round the way I chose, but I can still tell that this is the answer. They chose to round to the hundredths place. And they probably chose that because since the most significant digit is the ones, and we only have 1 1, rounding to the tenths might be a bit too much of an estimation. But in any case, this is definitely our answer, negative 1.33 inches per hour.